The big question is, Modi government a SuitBoot government? Is that going to be the slogan? Has Rahul Gandhi found a one-liner to take on Modi? Has Rahul, of course, as I said, reinvented himself. But is this a SuitBoot ki Sarkar? Is that how Rahul is going to position it? Let's go straight to our face-off. Joining me now, Shashi Tharoor of the Congress Party, Senior Leader and Member of Parliament, Sambit Patra, National Spokesperson, BJP. Before I come to you, Sambit, let me just get Shashi Tharoor to respond to that. Shashi Tharoor, is this the new one-liner? SuitBoot ki Sarkar. And many would say, who is the Congress to talk about a SuitBoot ki Sarkar when many of you have patronized the same suits and boots over the years?
I don't think any of us in the Congress Party have had a pinstripe suit with our name embroidered all over it. I think that, very frankly, Mr. Modi gifted us an opportunity to come up with a line like that, given his own sartorial tastes, which certainly was unprecedented in Indian politics.
You've got a Vadra model. The BJP, sorry, just a minute, Shashi. The BJP, you say that you don't have a pinstripe suit, but you certainly have friends who have suits. You have a Robert Vadra who overnight has become a farmer who seems to have, from a few lakhs, made several hundred crores. So, you know, the BJP could have every right to turn around today and say, who is Rahul Gandhi to say we are a SuitBoot ki Sarkar?
Look, I think that everybody who saw and heard Rahul Gandhi speak would have appreciated the humor behind not only that statement, but the subsequent bit when he added, Suit ka to auction ho gaya hai, we won't talk about it, aap khush ho. I mean, he demonstrated the side of himself. In every speech, there are certain rhetorical devices. A phrase has a certain value not only as a phrase, but in communicating a larger mood and a larger sensibility. Similarly, when he said, Aapka Pradhan Mantri, and the BJP benches objected. And he said, yeah, Aapka Pradhan Mantri nahi hai. Hamara bhi hai, lekin aapka bhi hona chahiye. Kahan se aaya wo? So this whole, I think the Rahul Gandhi who came across with this was somebody who was feisty, somebody who was combative, somebody who had a sense of humor, and who was willing to take the mickey out of his opposition.
I love the way that you've deflected the Vadra issue.
That is overdue, and we're very happy.
I love the way that you've deflected the Vadra issue. I mean, you're talking of farmers' issues, and the fact is that many believe...
Because it hasn't got anything to do with the issue before us today.
It does.
Today you're talking about Rahul Gandhi's speech and the revival of Rahul Gandhi. Let's talk about that.
Because you are attacking the BJP. On the other hand, we'll talk about him. Sambit Patra, on the other hand, the fact is that while you could maybe single out a Robert Vadra as an example that you believe is of someone who has benefited from land acquisition unfairly, there will be questions raised about this Modi model. The perception that Mr. Modi is surrounding himself with the fat cats of industry. Every time he goes abroad, he takes Gautam Adani with him. He doesn't seem to take many, he takes Gautam Adani, not Sushma Swaraj. People will ask questions. Who are Modi's best friends? Are they industrialists or are they the farmers of this country?
Rajdeep, let me also remind you of the fact, Mr. Rahul Gandhi today as well as yesterday spoke about the Gujarat model of acquiring land.
Yes.
And he was speaking that in a way as if it was a wrongful method of acquiring land in Gujarat. Here I would like to remind you as to what the Supreme Court had said while hearing a case about Gujarat land acquisition. It had called upon all the other states in the country that the country should in fact learn as to how Gujarat acquires land, because it is one of the best means of acquiring land. That's what Justice Datu and Justice Singhvi had to say about the Gujarat model of acquiring lands. Now let's give rest to the whole thing. Let's go to the suited booted type of thing that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has spoken today.
Yes.
As far as literally speaking the suit is concerned, I mean, there was no one in this country who was better suited than Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, and his suits used to come, I gather, from Paris, cleaned and dried. And as far as boots are concerned, may his soul rest in peace. We all loved him. Rajiv Gandhi wore Gucci shoes also and Lotus shoes as well.
Just a minute.
But it was literal.
Just a minute. I will bring in Shashi Tharoor probably to respond to the Nehru point, but I want to know from you. You are avoiding Adani. You are avoiding the Adani Gujarat model, just as Mr. Shashi Tharoor seems to be avoiding the Haryana Vadra model.
I'm not avoiding that. I'm not avoiding that.
All of you talk about the farmers of this country. The Prime Minister talks about the farmers of this country, Sambit Patra, but there is a perception growing that the Prime Minister is batting for big industry first, and not for the small and marginal farmer.
I'll break the perception right here in a very, I mean, the way which is quite visible to all of us. I mean, we had this 204 coal blocks which were cancelled by the Supreme Court. 20 of the coal blocks have been auctioned. Congress was pointing towards zero loss. We have already earned 2 lakh crores from these only 20 coal block auctions. So whose money is it that we have collected? It is the money from the deep pockets of the industrialists and the corporate world. The money which was allowed by the Rahul government, the money which was allowed by the Sonia and Manmohan government to be pocketed by the industrialists and the corporates has been retrieved by Modi government. Who is a corporate government and who is a poor man's government?
Can I raise that to you, Shashi Tharoor? Who is a corporate government? Who is a poor man's government? You know, the Congress goes on that we are the Aam Aadmi Party ki Sarkar. Yet, as Sambit Patra is right, one of the reasons you lost was there was a perception that this Aam Aadmi ki Sarkar had become a scam-tainted Sarkar. So, what is this? Is this now going to be a rhetorical battle even as farmers commit suicide in this country between Aam Aadmi ki Sarkar versus SuitBoot ki Sarkar?
No, first of all, this business of the scam tainted is completely, I mean, this is futile ground. We've all gone over it many times. The Congress party and the UPA government took action even on the basis of media charges against ministers and a chief minister, whereas Mr. Modi's cabinet in Gujarat had 3 convicted ministers, convicted of corruption, continuing to serve while they appealed.
The perception was you were a scam-tainted government. You now want to show this as SuitBoot ki Sarkar.
But on the SuitBoot business, it's very simple. Yes. You're quite right. Not only has Mr. Modi given us that pinstripe suit as an unforgettable, indelible memory, but he is on his very frequent foreign trips by suited and booted industrialists and capitalists. Now, they would be fine for the nation if they were generating jobs. Can the BJP tell us what the percentage is of employment increase in this country? Mr. Modi campaigned telling young people that he would be able to deliver jobs for them. Have any jobs come to this nation? We're talking about in the agricultural growth have only gone up by 1%. Export growth has gone up even less than 1%. So where is the growth coming from? It's all very well to cater to capitalists and industrialists if they are actually helping the country grow and if they're generating jobs for our people and growth for our economy. If all they're doing is increasing their own profits, naturally it's legitimately fair ground for us to attack.
But there's
we are not against growth.
There's a sense that Rahul wants to take you on a left turn.
Progress.
There's a sense that Rahul wants to take your party on a left turn by practice. There's a sense, Shashi Tharoor, that Rahul wants to take your party on a left turn by constantly attacking Mr. Modi as a SuitBoot ki Sarkar, without offering an alternative vision as to how agricultural productivity will grow in this country. How will you provide more and more jobs to the children of farmers who don't want to do farming? These questions are not addressed. You've decided attack is the best form of defense. That's the sense I'm getting.
Well, certainly we will attack when attack is justified, but I would dare say that already in 1 year we have demonstrated that we're a far more constructive opposition than the BJP were when they were in opposition for 10 years, because we have supported a number of initiatives that we deemed to be in the national interest, most recently the insurance bill. We have actually encouraged the government to go ahead with things like GST, saying that we're prepared to support them. What we're saying is we will oppose them when what they're doing, in our view, is against the national interest, and in the case of the land acquisition amendments, we believe they are violating the basic principles of a bill that was adopted consensually with their support as recently as a year and a half ago.
You know, Sambit Patra, I've got a long note that the BJP's propaganda machine has sent me about why they believe that the Congress is misleading the country on the land acquisition bill. Has the Congress pushed you slightly on the defensive, that you are being forced to respond to this charge today of being a SuitBoot ki Sarkar, or that the land acquisition bill is pro-rich and anti-farmer? Am I getting a sense for the first time Mr. Modi is slightly on the defensive?
Rajdeep, first let me correct you by saying that BJP propaganda machine is a wrong statement. I believe what you're talking about is a truth vending machine from BJP must have sent you a note. And secondly, the note is correct because, I mean, as far as the land acquisition bill and the posturing by Congress is concerned, let me tell you, since yesterday, the Kisan rally that the Congress had and the kind of posturing they did, it was more of a Rahul acquisition rally, because somehow Rahul was lost from Indian politics and it was badly required for Congress to acquire Rahul back into the fold. And that's the reason as to why today the Kisan, the farmers are lost somewhere in the din. No, I mean,
nice one-liner to call the land acquisition a Rahul acquisition, but you know, that's an interesting way to put it. That's an interesting way. You want to respond to that, Shashi Tharoor?
No,
that all this is being devised to somehow or the other
Let me complete and thereafter let Mr. Shashi Tharoor answer in totality.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it is a Rahul acquisition bill, Rahul acquisition rally, because you see all this discussion, in the din of the discussion, rather the farmer has been lost. The whole issue of our debates today is whether Rahul Gandhi is performing, whether Rahul Gandhi would be able to revive the fortunes of Congress, whether Rahul Gandhi's body language was what was expected by the media, by the other people. So intently everyone is watching Rahul Gandhi as to what his comeback revival would be. And second point, as far as the truth vending machine, whatever it has sent to you, and as to why, though we were all had the consensus in 2013, still the bill needs to be changed, was aptly answered by none other than Mr. Modi on the floor of Parliament.
Can I now get Shashi Tharoor to respond? Shashi Tharoor, is this about a Rahul acquisition bill in the end? That this entire land acquisition bill has been, how do we script Rahul Gandhi's comeback? And you've decided, let's go back to the 1970s, a little pro-poor, left of center, Indira Gandhi, Garibi Hatao is now being changed to SuitBoot ki Sarkar.
No. And listen, as far as all this Rahul acquisition business is concerned, I think it's much more about the BJP ducking the Rajdeep inquisition. But as far as Rahul is concerned, he's a vice president of the party. He doesn't need to be acquired or to acquire anything. He's already there, very much in place. He's a third-term member of parliament. We don't have to worry about what he is acquiring or not acquiring. He has the leadership already. But let me stress one more thing. When you talk about whether we're going back to the 1970s, no. We're going back to 2013, a year and a half ago, when we took an 1894 Act and we worked it through, coming up with a realistic, modern, progressive approach that was universally hailed across parties, including by the farming experts.
We can debate that act. We can debate that act at length later, because many believe that that act has led to the deindustrialization, could lead to deindustrialization.
Who's now their number 2.
The point is, Shashi Tharoor.
I'm sorry, I lost your question.
No. The point is, Shashi Tharoor, does the Congress want a reasoned debate on the land acquisition bill as Mr. Modi sees it? Do you want that to be the focus, or do you want it to be about rhetoric simply by finding something on the SuitBoot ki Sarkar and creating the perception that Mr. Modi has sold out to corporate India? Let's go through the act. Many people have reservations even about your original act.
Now listen, we have reasoned debates in Parliament on the merits, but we also have a political message to give, which is a larger picture. SuitBoot ki Sarkar is a metaphor for a government that appears to be indifferent to the interests of the toiling masses, the farmers, the landless people, the slum dwellers, who've all been squeezed out of their budget, who've been squeezed out of the national welfare schemes, and who've been squeezed out in the land amendment bill. So there is a larger message. Yes, it's a political message. But on the specific bill, of course, we're willing to debate it, and we have been debating it. We've been giving the nation our arguments for some time.
Can I give you 30 seconds each with you, Sambit? Let's be clear. You have been dismissive of Rahul Gandhi. You made him a figure of ridicule. But in the last 48 hours, and particularly today, I'm seeing there's a general feeling that Rahul Gandhi is hitting you where it's hurting. Are you willing to concede? Or is there a sense of arrogance in that smile of yours, that you believe that Mr. Modi can walk on water? And even if farmers commit suicide, if there is agrarian distress, the BJP is doing what it has to do.
No, point number one, I mean, there's a lot of speech about the metaphor that Rahul has invented today.
No, please respond to my question.
No, I would surely. Let me also remind of the fact that people who headed the Loot Ki Sarkar should not speak about SuitBoot Ki Sarkar. They were Loot Ki Sarkar for 10 years. And now, let me also remind you of a saying that you may dress failure in whatever glittering dresses you may desire to, but failure would always be called a failure. It will never turn into success just by the design of the clothes that failure wears. So whatever Rahul Gandhi is, what the country today expects out of him. And
has he rattled you? Has he for the first time rattled you a bit?
Without being arrogant, I would say, Rajdeep, since we are in government, that the pragmatic call should be we should listen to advices by every person in this country, be it Rahul Gandhi or be it a commoner on the streets of this country. Everyone has to be given due importance, and that's what we would do. We would just not write him away. But ask Mr. Shashi Tharoor, let him keep his hand on his heart and let him please reply. has he the trust that he needs to have on Rahul Gandhi? And one last thing that I would like to say, you have this frames of Mr. Rahul Gandhi playing out throughout the media today. Look at the frame intently. You have the dynasty surrounding the dynasty. You have son of Tarun Gogoi, you have Mr. Scindia's son, you have Mr. Bhupendra Hooda's son. Where is the Kisan there?
Good
and look
point.
at the other section of treasury. You have a Kisan, you have a Chaiwala, you have a Kisan, you have ordinary men all around. So who is
not
teaching
every
whom?
Chaiwala, not every Chaiwala wears Gucci shoes and has foreign watches and has pinstripe suits. Sorry to take that dig at the Prime Minister. At the end of the day, it's not about who's a Chaiwala's son. It's about how you live your life. I'm going to give Shashi Tharoor though the final word tonight. Shashi Tharoor, let's be clear. Is Rahul Gandhi, has he earned the respect of your party? There's a feeling that he still hasn't earned that respect. That there is a section of the party which is still skeptical. Has that skepticism gone in 48 hours? 10 years of inactivity. Skepticism can't go in 48 hours surely.
Well, first of all, we don't believe he was inactive, you see, Rajdeep. If you're only looking at how much he's spoken in Parliament, that's one measure. But don't forget, on this very issue, as far back as 2011, he was in Bhatta Parsal, leading an agitation, leading a rally, leading a march. This is an issue he's been engaged with for some time. But what we saw today in Parliament certainly particularly inspired us. We had a meeting of the MPs of the Lok Sabha this evening with the Congress Party President, Mrs. Gandhi, at 6:30, and the mood was electrifying. There was exhilaration in the air. When we marched out, we had a sense that we had definitely and for once and for all refuted the caricature that some of you in the media and that's our friends in the opposition had, and in the government, I beg your pardon, had been trying to spread
Rajdeep.
about our party vice president.
Okay, I'm going to leave.
So Rahul has not only shown it for himself, but I think very clearly the nation sees the caricature for what it is.
Rahul, 10
he
seconds.
knows the real
Rajdeep,
man,
10
he's
seconds.
smart, he's quick on his feet, he's got a sense of humor, he's got facts at his fingertips, and he is capable of leading the fight for justice in this country, and we're all with him.
10 seconds.
My God,
Rajdeep.
it's taken 48 hours for us to rediscover all this. But yes, 10 seconds, you're smiling. I can't ignore your smile, Sambit Patra. Make it 10 seconds,
With all due respect, I mean, what Shashi Tharoor right now told, that there was an electrifying attitude everywhere within the Congress. Just imagine, Congress is celebrating and rejoicing that finally one of their member of parliaments and the leader could speak. I mean, is this the reason as to why they're celebrating? They have long to travel then.
I take your point. You know, I just want to leave you with a thought, Shashi Tharoor. Your old friend Ramchandra Guha has just tweeted, sad to see Jyotiraditya Scindia and Shashi Tharoor psychophantically praise Rahul Gandhi on Rajdeep Sardesai's show. They are much more capable than him. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Your smile says it all, Shashi.
That's extremely unfair. You can't just leave it there because for us to speak our mind politically cannot be labeled as psychophancy.
Okay. Okay.
This is a political message.
You cannot leave it here, Rajdeep, or else they would be left.
So, Sambit, let's not also talk about psychophancy that takes place in your party with your leader. So let's not go down that route as well. We
respect talent. We respect talent. Respect and psychophancy are different issues.
We are going to leave it there. I appreciate both of you joining us. Shashi Tharoor, always a pleasure talking to you. Sambit Patra, thanks very much for joining us.